All right, welcome to Corium Concepts. I'm your host, Chris. Long time no here. Got an exciting update today. We're going to be talking about SoloTex, and by default, Corium and Sologenic at the same time. So thank you for joining me. Be a quick presentation before we get started. Just a reminder, stop by Corium Community Down Validator. Hub of resources, education, networking opportunities, and you can support all that by just chipping in wherever is fun for you, or by staking your Corium on our validator and supporting us that way. Every Sunday we have the Superledger podcast. This past Sunday and this coming one, I would argue, are going to be amongst the best. I'll start with the one coming up here this weekend. It's going to be a live stream Sunday, October 19th, 12 p.m. Pacific, our usual time. Be doing that with Scott and Bella from Sigia. We're going to talk about privacy and the importance of the app that they've built. Keep your data, your photos, your files, everything safe from prying eyes, and able to send and receive securely. Powerful app they're building here. Got some good opportunities to get involved in its early days and ask any questions. The team will be here. And they've been on the show before, but they are getting very close to going mainstream on this one. So we've been doing testing here the past few months, and happy to say the latest Android update is working really nice. And I heard the iPhone users are happy too. So we lots to talk about. Looking forward to chatting with Scott and Bell again. Always a good time when they stop by the show. You can follow their channel at Dark Side of the Podcast on YouTube also. And then this past episode, number 98, we had the Web3 Artist Awards as the focus of conversation. We had Blue to Black join us for that, and Yonda and several other good speakers came up. It was a great conversation, had some poetry, some music, and a full breakdown on what to expect in the Web3 Artist Awards 2025 edition. If you want to get involved in that, currently looking for nominees. So if you have somebody you'd like to nominate in one of 40 different categories, be sure to check that out. If you need to learn more about it, just reach out, get you in touch with all the information you need for that. All right, here's what we're here to talk about today. Let's take a listen to this.
Markets change, but the systems that power them haven't. Capital markets are overdue to embrace the digital era of global access, speed, and flexibility through tokenization. The future of finance isn't speculative. It's real-world assets on-chain. SoloTex, engineered for institutions, designed for you. Markets change, but the systems...
All right, so this was an announcement they did back in May. One platform, multiple asset classes, trade stocks, crypto, and other RWAs, all on SoloTex. It's diversification for the modern investor, engineered for institutions, designed for you. And there's a sign-up link there at solotex.com. Take a look at their website here. And you can see just announced Sologenic partner, Texture Capital, approved to trade U.S. equities with positions represented as stock tokens. Massive news. Massive news. Many in the Corium Sologenic community have been waiting for this for some time. the day is here. We've got a lot to talk about. We'll be breaking it down in the days ahead. Have a couple spaces here to chat about it too. As the team, you can see, is on full out blitz on SoloTex marketing, and you can apply here for early access to trade stocks, ETFs, stablecoins, all in one wallet. All right, own a piece of the world's most traded companies. Skip the bank, access stocks with USDC, no waiting, no friction. Trade under a fully regulated US-based broker. Texture Capital adheres to strict US securities regulations, aiming to meet the highest standards of compliance in every transaction. With SoloTex, the firm introduces a modern investment platform designed for Web3 users. We've got a link to the Finra broker check. There you go. Partner with SoloTex. Join us in bridging the gap between Web3 and traditional finance. There's a link for institutions and crypto exchanges. So today they announced Texture Capital approved by Finra to trade US equities, as you've seen on the website there. And CEO of Corium Sologenic says, make no mistake, this is a monumental milestone not only for our company, but also for the industry as a whole. One of the most conservative regulatory agencies in the world has not only approved our tokenization framework, but was genuinely interested in understanding our platform. This was unthinkable in the US just a couple years ago. There is still work to be done, but I am grateful to our team who show up every day to solve problems and overcome obstacles with grit, determination, and vision. We've been punching above our weight, and we're just getting started. So there's some bullish news. That's how the day started today. Dropped this powerful article from CoinDesk. Multiple other agencies have listed it too. Won't list them all here today, but we'll get into it in the days ahead in conversation. Just check in with those that have joined us via X and YouTube, leaving some comments. Bibby, welcome. Seen a few reposted the stream. Awesome. Appreciate it. Tate69 and DGen Queen, thanks for stopping by. If anybody has any questions, please drop them in the comments there. I will try and address them in this stream. But let's get into the article here. First thing this morning, much before breakfast even, powerful SoloTex update. We are getting very close, it seems. The details in this article demonstrates what makes this platform not just powerful, but superior to other products tokenizing US stocks. So let's go take a look at that instead. SoloTex set to bring the tokenized stocks to US retail traders with Finra green light. This is on CoinDesk this morning. Built by Texture Capital and Sologenic, this platform aims to bring real on-chain stock ownership for US retail users, executives said in an interview. What to know? SoloTex, a new platform by Texture Capital and Sologenic, plans to offer US retail traders tokenized stocks in compliance with regulatory standards after regulatory approval by Finra. The platform, set to debut later this year, aims to provide real share ownership through tokens, including dividends and voting rights. Tokenization of stocks gained steam this year, but most offerings target non-US investors. While recent wave of tokenized stocks have mostly targeted offshore users, a new platform called SoloTex aims to bring equity tokens to US retail traders in a compliant way. Texture Capital, a US-based broker-dealer registered with the SEC and Finra, said it received regulatory approval to launch SoloTex as a retail trading venue that lets investors buy tokenized versions of US equities with stablecoins like USDC. The platform, built in partnership with tokenization firm SoloTex, is expected to go live by the end of 2025. Let's take a listen here.
Every other asset is pushing in that direction. So we're looking at...
Not related. Interview with CoinDesk Texture Capital CEO Richard Johnson and SoloTex CEO Mike McCluskey said that SoloTex aims to distinguish itself from the competitors by offering real share ownership with tokens. The platform issues the tokens only when the underlying stock is purchased and holds real shares in regulated custody under U.S. legal frameworks, in contrast to offshore synthetic structures or exposure through special purpose vehicles, or SPVs. In quotes from Mike McCluskey, it says, "We believe this is the first for the U.S. market and sets the stage for a new era of asset ownership through tokenization." Tokenization of traditional assets has drawn growing interest from major financial firms and startups alike. Institutions like JP Morgan, Franklin Templeton have experimented with tokenization assets like treasuries and money market funds. The process promises faster settlement, lower fees, and broader market access, and it could mushroom into multi-trillion-dollar market over the next decade, according to projections. And we've heard numbers anywhere from 16 to 30 trillion plus by 2030. Tokenized stocks gained steam earlier this year as a roster of trading platforms and crypto exchanges rolled out tokenized equities, including Gemini, Kraken, Bybit, and Robinhood. But existing offerings have remained largely inaccessible to U.S. retail investors due to regulatory complexity. Meanwhile, synthetic stock tokens are exposures through special purpose vehicles, SPVs, that often don't provide actual share ownership. These products can lack regulatory oversight, introduce additional counterparty risks, and trade prices that drift from the real market due to limited liquidity. These products can lack regulatory oversight, introduce additional counterparty risks, and trade at prices that drift. He's just said the same thing as the line before. Sorry about that. And then to continue on SoloTex, each trade mints a stock token on demand, representing one-to-one claim on the actual share held in custody by the platform's clearing broker. These tokens will provide full shareholder rights, including dividends and voting, and can be viewed alongside other crypto holdings in a self-custodied wallet. It's massive. That's the difference right there, guys. It's important that you understand how monumental this is and what Corium has been building towards. In quotes, offering actual tokenized U.S. equities to the U.S. market has always been the holy grail, said Ashley Ebersol, legal advisor for SoloTex, in a statement. In quotes again, SoloTex represents the leading edge of innovation within established regulatory architecture, and we will continue to innovate towards fully tokenized capital markets as regulations permit. All right, so we won't dive deep in this. We've looked into this before, but Texture Capital, ran by this gentleman here, Richard Johnston. He had a seat at the table for the crypto roundtable series at the White House. We've heard him speak directly to that cause. So it's powerful that he's bringing exactly what he was advocating for at those talks just months ago, after the regulatory winds changed directions in this ecosystem. So powerful position they have at the table there. This goes back to an interview they did back in March, Richard Johnson and Mike McCluskey with the Cointelegraph folks. Let's take a quick listen. This is a short clip.
Where things are headed, and I also think in terms of revenue for our business, it's going to be extremely positive. That's going to open up a lot of doors in terms of other partnerships, and so yeah, happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, no, that's really exciting. And just, one more thing on the long term, because I think I heard you mention it earlier, just talking about, being able, to tokenize some of these more, financial vehicles like ETFs, things like that. I don't know how much you can say, but are those things going to be ready on day one at the launch, or is that still kind of that further on long-term vision?
We want to provide access to all public stocks and ETFs on day one.
There you go. All public stocks and ETFs day one is what they are shooting for. It's a powerful, powerful target. Don't know if that's still on track. There's no mention of that. Specifically, I don't think in today's announcements, we're going to go through them right from all the people at the top, one by one, in case I missed something along the way. Here we go. So we'll start with how SoloTex rolled it out here today. SoloTex delivers the tools you need to diversify as a modern investor. As we get closer to launch, here are some of the features you expect from day one. Track stocks and crypto in one wallet, as you can see here. Access US stocks via USDC. Here's a link to the risk disclosure. As you can see, you provide USDC into SoloTex, equities, ETFs, other RWAs, ready to go. Going long or short, place market limit orders on high value equities. Risk disclosure again attached. Here's a look at the platform with an Apple stock. Duration of your trades, good for a day, good until time, good until canceled. We heard a lot about those features on the Corium network and the DEX. Really nice to see. Got a link for community, activity, markets, home, nice. Everything's looking good there. And this is huge. This is another thing that sets them apart from what everybody else is doing. Automatic dividend payments, power of smart tokens, right there. Receive dividend payouts directly to your trading account along with detailed reports. See here. Could read the disclosure here. SoloTex is currently pending regulatory approval. The brokerage account includes U.S. securities and cash equivalents only. All other digital assets displayed within SoloTex app are held separately. There you go. See Google dividend payout. I think I lost the thread there. Bouncing over to the Corium official web or X page. We have regulatory clarity is one requirement. The other is infrastructure that can handle it. Corium is built for this. It embeds on-chain compliance directly into smart tokens to facilitate the RWA shift. All right, there's a link to the article that we just went through. Checking in with Sologenic. Sologenic plus Texture equals SoloTex. Sologenic and Texture are launching SoloTex, the future of tokenized equities in the US. Thanks to Cornest VC for enabling this through their investment in Texture Capital, a US-based broker-dealer. Join the waitlist at solotex.com. Let's take a listen. This was back from November.
Hey everyone, Mike McCluskey here. I'm on Wall Street in New York City, the epicenter of traditional financial services in the entire world. And our team has been here for the week for some meetings and events, and wanted to take this opportunity to announce a major partnership and joint venture that we're going to be launching with a company called Texture Capital. Texture Capital is one of the few broker-dealers in the United States that's both licensed and approved by Finra and the SEC to tokenize and trade digital assets. This gives our company a clear path to tokenizing stocks and ETFs for both retail and institutional investors, and puts us in a position to be the premier tokenization leader in the entire world. So we'll keep you updated with other announcements and updates in the coming weeks and months, and we're excited to get started.
All right, so that was when it was announced back in November of last year. And then this was also announced here yesterday on SoloGenic. SoloGenic joins GRADE, a global regulated asset and digital exchange alliance to build the foundational infrastructure for interoperable and regulated digital markets. This is a massive leap required for institutional grade tokenization to truly scale. So SoloGenic and Texture Capital have joined GRADE, the global regulated asset and digital exchange alliance, a coalition of regulated tokenization providers committed to connecting markets and enabling seamless cross-border access to tokenized securities. The fragmented digital asset market suffers from inefficient distribution and costly repetitive listing processes. GRADE harmonizes standards and fosters collaboration to enhance transparency, reduce duplication, and unlock liquidity. Through this collaboration, members of GRADE are building the foundation for a trusted, efficient, and connected global market where issuers can access liquidity faster and investors benefit from global, high-quality market access. SoloGenic will join this exciting effort to make regulated digital markets interoperable and scalable. So in another episode, we'll dive into that a little bit deeper, but another powerful announcement that is worthy of some further discussion. As you can see, all the projects that are getting involved with that. This is how GRADE's eligibility passports work. Single information pack. Issuers submit one standardized due diligence pack to the GRADE coordinator. And that is Particula. Multi-venue assessment. The pack is validated and mapped against each member's venue rulebook. Venues retain full discretion on eligibility and listing. More clarity. Issuers gain a clear view of where they qualify and what gaps remain. So, important part of the puzzle there. All right. Bob Ross had some updates for us here today also. Big changes are coming for Corium and SoloGenic, tokenized stocks and ETFs. That is just a tiny glimpse of what is about to unfold. A new wave of regulated, interoperable innovation is on the way, and it's going to change everything. Huge kudos to Mike McCluskey and the team for quietly building something that's about to turn heads. Hashtag RWAs, hashtag one. All right, so it's a powerful statement from Bob Ross, and he was quite conversational today on X. But I should point out, for those that don't know, is there's another important thing going on with the Corium ecosystem, and that is Cornest VC. Bob and Reza are heading that up, and their partnership with El Salvador and the accelerator program that they are part of. Let's see if I can get to announcement. There's a lot of talk about obviously the current events here to go through. Should have pulled it up on a separate slide there, but this is worthy of mentioning. This was just from last week here. Great panel at the Merge convention there. Tokenization is entering its execution phase. Moving assets and money in one ledger is already making markets faster, cheaper, and transparent. The challenge is doing it without disrupting investor protections. So, recording available there, and should be getting into where I want to get, but I'm coming across some things that are worth mentioning here. This was last week's announcement. Excited to have Ashley contributing to our company and helping us to new heights. And this is the future of institutional digital assets requires a strong regulatory foundation. Ashley Ebersole is formally joined as key legal advisor, bringing critical expertise to the forefront of RWAs. Impressive resume there. We'll dive into that on another show there. All right. I'll continue on. We can dive into that more if time permits. Reza's comment on the events today: consistency wins. After months of back and forth, Finra just gave SoloTex the green light. Onward and onward. Congrats to the team. And Mike McCluskey to that quotes Aristotle: we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Just thank you, Reza, for all your consistent support throughout this process. All right, so a lot going on there. I'll get back to try and grab that previous announcement if I can, but I'll check in with comments here. I see there's a few there. I see Articulates here. Welcome. Exciting times indeed there, Tay, Strat, and Cormont. Welcome. Thanks for sharing the stream. And Al Monk 3066, green light for Corium. Boom, absolutely. Good times ahead. I don't see any other questions or comments out there. I might wrap it up with that here today, but first let's take a quick rundown on smart tokens from our good friend Kath.
Hello, everyone. Have you heard of smart tokens? Smart tokens are an awesome type of technology built on Corium. Some of the cool features about them are that they are cost-effective, lightweight, programmable, fungible, non-fungible, and have cross-chain functionality. With so many different use cases, from enterprise-grade solutions to everyday decentralized users, no matter how big or small, Corium's got you covered. Here are some examples of what smart tokens can be used for: neobanking, CBDCs, stablecoins, tokenized securities and stocks, soulbound tokens, interactive NFTs, programmable money, peer-to-peer secure messaging, wrapped cryptocurrencies, tokenized real estate, transparent voting, real-world assets, and ISO 222 compliance. With smart tokens, the possibilities are endless. Try them today and put the power in your hands. Corium Community DAO, empowering tomorrow together today.
All right, there we go. I'm going to wrap things up here for today. I will be diving into these things a little bit deeper on a piece-by-piece basis here in the days ahead, and a couple other exciting initiatives on the way here. As mentioned, the Web3 Artist Awards, working on that, so we're going to be some conversation on that here also. And also Flix.fun is doing its token migration from Osmos over to the base ecosystem, so I'll be following and covering that closely also. And as we can see here with SoloTex, it's getting close. The time is near. Make sure you get yourself signed up for the early access there. As you can see on their website right here, you can join the wait list. Just enter your name, take care of what needs to be taken care of there to prove you're human, and you're on your way. So there it is. Let me know in the comments what you think about the announcement. Finra giving SoloTex the green light. No firm dates have been given. Sounds like it's been updated to before the end of the year, which that's okay. I mean, we're mere months away. This has been a long time coming. Sologenic, as many of you know, has had a tokenization platform on the XRPL years ago, long before tokenization of RWAs was even talked about. And I had the pleasure to test it back then, and that was actually one of the things that led me to Corium, was seeing how far ahead Sologenic was compared to the rest of the industry with this tokenization of all the U.S. market, all the global markets. It had all the global markets on there. It was really impressive to see. So here we are, all these years later. Sologenic, the engine behind SoloTex, built on the Corium blockchain. Exciting times ahead. Couldn't say it better than Bibby there. LFG, he says. There we go. Well, we'll end on that. Trying to keep it short so we get some people stopping by to learn about what was announced here today. So if you can like, share the space, leave a comment, let everybody know why they should stop by. It'd be really appreciated. Thank you for all your support. Make sure you join us on Sunday for the Superledger podcast and stop by our Discord. Say hello. Bibby's cooking up some stuff for the Corium Punks. Lots of things going on in there. So stop by and say hello. Thanks again for tuning in, everybody. We're going to end it on that. Peace and prosperity to you all.